Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Get to Know XYZ. Today we will be getting to know an American pop rock singer, Knox. But before we do that, let me introduce myself a little bit. My name's Daisy, I'm from Slovakia, currently living in Ireland as a college student. I've always been in love with music, as I've played the piano since the age of 7 and the saxophone since I was about 15. One of my favorite hobbies is creating playlists with different genres and moods. I love nerding out about new artists and discovering new songs. And since my passion is music and talking a lot, I figured why not turning it to something more coherent? I created this podcast to make the whole process of exploring music a bit easier for my fellow seekers and practice my editing skills a bit as well. All the research for the episodes is my work alone. The logo of the podcast is made by my dear friend Alina Holub, and I made the thumbnails for the episodes myself. The editing is done by me, myself, and I again. However, none of the songs belong to me. They are all by the artists I cover in specific episodes. I truly enjoyed the entire experience of creating this podcast, and I really hope the listening journey is just as enjoyable. Without further ado, let's turn the spotlight to the main character of this episode, Knox. He was born on 20th October 1997 in a small town called New Carlisle, which is about 20 minutes away from Dayton, Ohio, USA. It is also the motherland of the Wright brothers, who invented the first successful practical airplane. That's why Ohio was given the nickname of the birthplace of aviation. But those are not the only remarkable people from Ohio. In fact, 7 presidents of the United States were born in Ohio, along with Neil Armstrong, who was the first person to walk on the moon. So he was never a president, but close enough. There's not a lot that has happened in New Carlisle, except for when John Dillinger robbed the New Carlisle National Bank in 1933, stealing $10,000, which equals to about $241,000 in 2024. Okay, now let's get back to today's topic. Unlike Marcus and Martinez, who have been in the music industry since forever, Knox is still fairly new to it as he released his first EP only in 2023. That being said, let's bring some order to this because there's so much that happened before that. In high school, Knox was very passionate about basketball as his dad was a basketball coach. However, as his high school years came to an end, he noticed he has nothing to do. So he picked up an old guitar he got when he was about 10 and started learning how to play with YouTube tutorials. In 2015, he went to Ed Sheeran's Multiply tour where he met him in person. This inspired him to try playing the guitar and writing some songs for himself. In 2016, Knox auditioned for America's Got Talent and American Idol, where he wasn't very successful. Still, he never lost hope. He then went to Ohio University, where he participated in a lot of poetry nights, talent shows, open mic nights, or just played on the streets. Knox fell in love with performing and tried to win over the audience practically whenever he could all over Ohio. By the end of second year of college, he knew he wanted to pursue music instead of becoming a teacher. He dropped out of school and had a plan to save money over summer and move to Nashville. With his father being a principal and mom a teacher, it was tough to convince them that he was being serious about his future steps. Despite everything, his parents have always supported him in moving out of Ohio. On top of that, Knox has 3 younger siblings, a brother studying law, a sister who's a swimmer, and his younger sister is a nurse. They all moved out of their hometown too, so that's a pretty high chance he might be able to do the same, right? In 2019, he managed to move to Nashville where he met Spencer Jordan, who helped him improve his songwriting skills. They started writing songs for many different artists, those being John Harvey, Arrows in Action, Games We Play, or Bill Murray. Knox then essentially spent 4 years writing songs for other artists. In 2021, together with Spencer Jordan, he wrote a song called Leg Day for John Harvey. And a song called Get a Job by Games We Play. You should get a fucking job. That's how he got well known in the songwriting community in Nashville and got his first publishing deal with the River House in summer 2022. He got very close with Johnny Frank, the lead singer of the band Bill Murray, who introduced him to the band Camino. This led to him being the frontrunner for the band on their 2022 tour. In River House, Knox was hired to be a songwriter, not an artist. And yet, when he wrote and recorded a song called Sneakers, he knew there was no way he would give out that song to anyone else to sing. After some persuasion and a viral TikTok promoting the song, the label let him release Sneakers as an official single.
What's under that t-shirt? I could, but I gotta fuck with me first. Girl, you know you're hotter than a fever. But I don't run around with sneakers.
A few months later, he signed with Atlantic Records and released his first ever EP in February 2023 called How to Lose a Girl in 7 Songs. As the title suggests, this album contains 7 songs which are meant to be played in this order. Hey My Guts,
Love kinda sucks, pretty messed up. I guess I didn't know that it would hurt this much. Really never thought you'd ever hate my guts after all.
Time Machine,
I wish that I had a time machine, so I could go back to the night, to the first time you locked eyes with me. Only now I'd turn around, I would set my drink down, I would leave the party, I would wake up by myself, cause then I would've never felt the way I did when you lied to me. But I don't have a time machine.
Sneakers,
Oh, you don't even like me, you just want another pair of Nikes to kick it in a kiss under the bleachers. But I don't run around with sneakers. No, I don't run around with.
I Don't Wanna Know,
If that guy takes you home, then I don't wanna know if he takes off all your clothes. Then I don't wanna know, you can do just what you like tonight. But if you leave with him and take him to the places that we've been, I don't wanna know.
Porch Lights,
I don't wanna play right now. Why you always gotta play games somehow? You're pulling me forward, then pushing me back, taking my heart to break it so bad. No, I don't wanna wait no more. Watch you run away in and out that door. You look me in the face and say that I'm yours when I'm not. So don't leave the front porch lights on.
Dumpster Fire,
My heart's a dumpster fire burning all damn day. It's filled with memories of us, it all went up in flames. Maybe it's just, maybe it's really not that bad, but the smoke from what you broke keeps going higher, while I'm trying to find some peace of mind in this dumpster fire.
and NYC.
I should fly to LA, stay for just a few days, work on myself, yeah. Or maybe go to Washington, drink and just get lost again, worsen my health. Cause I'm a monumental mess, and all the tightness in my chest, it's just a sign I should reset. Yeah, I just need to find a place to rewind. Oh, I should fly to New York tonight.
This was actually not the original list of songs that were meant to be on the album. Initially, instead of Porch Lights, they were supposed to be Leg Day with John Harvey.
I'm stuck in the passenger seat, and the way you drive just is a one-way street. Cause you're a baddie, but you're stuck in your delusions. Only got a baddie from the jumping to conclusions. She never skips leg day.
And the spot of Dumpster Fire used to belong to a song called Girl on the Internet.
So let's give it up for the girl on the internet, trying to convince the whole world she's fine. Let's give it up for the girl who's never been better, acting so happy online. Oh, so addicted to the comments, but she never being honest. No, she's so not alright, trying to convince the whole wide world that she's fine.
Which was later released as an official single in November 2023. On October 6, 2023, Knox released a second EP called I'm So Good at Being Alone. This album also consists of 7 songs, including Men Down,
Just another man down. She's a drop-dead stone cold killer. Has her finger on her lips and the trigger. And how am I not supposed to wanna be with her?
one of his most famous songs called Not the 1975,
She said, I like your confidence, but you're not the 1975. No lie, that's quite the compliment, but I'm not really looking for somebody tonight.
another hit named Love Letter,
She's burning all the love letters. He sent her, they don't mean nothing now. They don't mean nothing now. And love is only 4 letters, but you'll never catch her saying them out loud. Saying them out loud.
a duet with the band Nightly called Miss When You Miss Me.
Slow down, now you're moving on. And I just heard your favorite song, but you're gone. God, that's when it hits me. I guess I just miss when you missed me.
Never Mind,
Never mind, I can't get you back if you were. Never mine, just forget I asked that. I tried to give you my heart, but you treated it like it was garbage. So never mind, no, you were never really
A song featuring Charlotte Sands named We're Not in Love Anymore.
I'll pick myself up off the floor, and you turn off the lights, lock the door, and walk out to your car. Drive away, it's okay if you need to hate me, but we can't go back to before. No, we're not in love anymore.
And a title track, I'm So Good at Being Alone.
'Cause I'm so good at being alone. Oh, I'm so good at being alone. It's just me, myself, and all my free time on my own, and I sleep just fine 'cause I'm so good at being alone.
The album has a question mark in it, but the song with the same name does not. And no, it is not a typo, it has a meaning. And Knox actually talked about it on a podcast with Adobe Radio Studios.
You know, I wanted it to be a question mark on the project because the whole project as a whole is like, you know, am I good? Like, I think I am, like, but I'm not really sure yet. That was also like why, so we put I'm So Good at Being Alone as the last track listing, and we made it a statement because by the time you get to the end, it's like, oh no, I am good.
Knox also mentioned that his goal was never really to be an artist. He mainly wanted to be a songwriter, and quoting from the same interview, the goal was just to work in music. Like, I would literally bring coffee to the songwriters if that's what it took to say I worked in the music industry. As an experienced songwriter, he uses his skills to express himself by clever wordplay and puns in his songs that work really well with the catchy pop rock melodies. It's like if you would take his lyrics and turn them into a poem, it would still be as beautiful as it is with the musical arrangement. For most of 2024, Knox was touring around the US, enjoying his time performing and bonding with his fans. Naturally, he also released new songs. This time, we didn't get any albums, but there's no need to cry, as Knox never fails to spoil his fans with incredible bops. In January, he released a single called Here's to Us.
Here's to the nights we were choking on drinks that we couldn't afford. Here's to the days we were broken, trying but coming up short.
In February, we got Me, Myself, and Your Eyes.
Don't need too much tonight, as long as I'm with you. You got me feeling so high, and you're not even trying to. It's obvious we don't want anybody else here but us, anybody but us. I don't need too much tonight, just me, myself, and you.
In April, we were blessed with a hit called Change Your Mind.
Could quit the drink and the smoke, start lifting heavy as stones, but what's the point anymore? 'Cause nothing's gonna change the fact that you walked out that door. So I'm losing my mind tonight, 'cause I can't change, no I can't change yours.
In June, he released Treadmill.
I wanna be what you like, trying to read all the signs, but I'm caught in a standstill. Feels like I've been going for miles, getting nowhere to stop, chasing you on a treadmill. I'm caught in a loop, trying to get me to you. Got my heart on the line, got me out of my mind. I've been running in circles just trying to make you mine.
And his latest single is called Invisible.
So can we pretend that we're invisible? Kiss me like nobody's watching us. Two ghosts alone in the middle of a crowded room, my love.
Released in September 2024. One of his greatest inspirations are artists like Ed Sheeran, James Arthur, Boys Like Girls, James Bay, or the All-American Reject. Some people think he might be a distant relative of Ed Sheeran, which I think is mainly because of the ginger hair. His music style, on the other hand, is a nice mix of catchy pop with almost retro sounding rock melodies. And guess what? We have a lot to be looking forward to in 2025 since Knox's first ever full-length album with 15 songs called Going Going Gone is expected to be released on 24th of April 2025. Since we're getting closer to the end of this episode, I wanted to highlight what makes Knox's music really his, and that is the lyrics. My favorite song lyric-wise is definitely Love Letter. It is a song about a girl and practically her redemption arc, as Knox mentioned in his 2023 interview with Unpublished magazine. She realizes that the guy she was in a relationship with is not good for her, and she starts burning all these love letters she got from him. There's no more crying in a coffee cup. She got close enough to kiss him, then he burned her tongue. No, he wasn't who he said he was. There's little lies between his teeth. Now she wonders, is it me? It's so hard to see. Okay, so if we briefly break it down, the coffee could suggest her routine. You know, when people drink coffee in the morning. But she's no longer crying that morning because she perhaps doesn't want to be burdened by this anymore. She's no longer sad. She got close enough to him to be emotionally attached, but he burned her tongue. He could have said something really hurtful to her, which opened her eyes to see that she was fooled by him. He showed his true colors, maybe betrayed her, and now she's doubting herself a bit, like, what if it was my fault it turned out this way? Could I have done something wrong that made him change? And when we move on to the pre-chorus and chorus, but what a lovely disaster when puffy red eyes turn to daggers, and her heart of glass finally shatters. Now she's burning all the love letters he sent her. They don't mean nothing now. They don't mean nothing now. And love is only 4 letters, but you'll never catch her saying them out loud. Saying them out loud. Cause love let her trust in, it let her believe then, love let her spiral into the deep end. Now she's burning all the love letters he sent her. They don't mean nothing now. Cause love let her. Love let her down. I feel like here we're actually getting her villain arc as she finds something pretty in this whole situation, calling it a lovely disaster, and her emotions switch from sadness to anger. As her heart shatters, she's not the same person anymore. The love letters she's burning don't necessarily need to be actual letters. Those could be the empty promises and sweet lies of the guy who broke her heart, and she's finally letting go. Saying that love is just 4 letters decreases its worth. Like it's not describing any powerful emotion anymore. Now it's just 4 meaningless letters that she will never say again to avoid getting hurt. What was once a source of trust is now the cause of her emptiness. And now she's decided to move on by burning everything and leaving it in the past. The second verse is after she lets go. Yeah, it's the oldest tale in history. Someone treated her so carelessly and now she's broke, floating somewhere in the in-between. I bet she likes to be the villain for once now that the damage is done. This is not the first time we hear about a guy breaking a girl's heart, so it's a tale as old as time. It looks like he neglected her, didn't care about her feelings, and now she's numb to them. Floating in between could mean more things. She could be stuck between still caring and moving on. She could be caught in a state of uncertainty, as she's not healed yet, but she's not as broken as she was at first. And with the last line, she's back to the anger and resentment of the guy. She's ready to finally become the villain, as there's nothing she can do about it anymore, and it has left a mark she'll probably carry for a long time. Cool, right? This is what I love about his songs, that you can imagine the whole story behind every one of them. Maybe that's another thing they have in common with Ed Sheeran, apart from the ginger hair. They tell a story with their songs, and the story of this episode is now at the end. I hope the next one will be at least as good as this one. Bye!